Well, folks, Ibram X. Kendi is one of the great grifters of our time. He's made millions of dollars off of claiming that America is a white supremacist country, which is a weird way to earn money as a successful black man by claiming that the country that is giving you all this money is horrible and racist. Ibram X. Kendi, you will recall, is the author of How to Be Anti-Racist. His entire premise is that if you do not mirror the prescriptions of Ibram X. Kendi, then you are in fact a racist. And he says that his fellow Americans are generally white supremacists.
I don't think white people worldwide have really reckoned with how much their own personal identity is shaped by constructions of whiteness, and how much that construction of whiteness prevents white people from connecting to humanity. In other words, recognizing that when you recognize that you are part and parcel of humanity, in other words, you're not over humanity.
Okay, so white people are all emblematic of white supremacy. They are over other members of humanity. And this, according to Ibram X. Kendi and his ilk, this is represented by the Republican Party in the United States. This apparently will be the Democratic Party's campaign in 2024. Republicans are Christian theocrats and white supremacists. According to them, the entire Republican Party is dominated by a desire for white Christian fascism or something. The response, presumably, would be an alliance of the secularists and people of color. Not shockingly, that is precisely the coalition the Democratic Party seems to be wooing, running on abortion and quote-unquote anti-racism. They are pushing forward this agenda with ugly scare tactics. That is why The Atlantic magazine is dedicating its first issue of 2024 to suggesting that any vote for Donald Trump in 2024 is a vote for a fascist regime. According to official Obama jockstrap sniffer Jeffrey Goldberg, editor of that rag, quote, I encourage you to read all of the articles in this special issue carefully, though perhaps not in one sitting for reasons of mental hygiene. Our team of brilliant writers makes convincingly dispositive case that both Trump and Trumpism pose an existential threat to America and to the ideas that animate it, unquote. Yes, according to these folks, if you vote for Trump, you have handed away America's future. This sort of messaging is also being promoted by Republicans experiencing strange new respect. That is the respect you receive when suddenly you start mimicking Democratic lines. That'd be people like Liz Cheney, who's mirroring the doom-mongering of the left. Here she was yesterday.
Say Donald Trump, if he is reelected, it will be the end of the republic. What do you mean?
He's told us what he will do. People who say, well, if he's elected, it's not that dangerous because we have all of these checks and balances, don't fully understand the extent to which the Republicans in Congress today have been co-opted. One of the things that we see happening today is sort of a sleepwalking into dictatorship in the United States.
Sleepwalking into dictatorship, fascism, white supremacy, Christian nationalism, all the buzzwords, and all of it is going to materialize if Donald Trump becomes president in 2024. The holidays not only allow us to spend time with family, they are a reminder of how important our responsibility is to protect them. That includes planning to secure their future. Policy Genius makes it easy to compare life insurance quotes from top companies and find your lowest price. Their licensed agents work for you, not the insurance companies. That means you can trust their guidance because they don't have an incentive to recommend one insurer over another. There are no added fees. Your personal information is, in fact, kept private. Very important for my family that we have life insurance. You know, it's a pain in the butt, but it's something you need to do. But here's the thing. Policy Genius can make it not a pain in the butt, and they can take it off your to-do list. It is super satisfying to check life insurance off that to-do list. A good life insurance plan can give you peace of mind that if something happens to you, your family will be able to cover mortgage payments, college costs, or other expenses. Life insurance through your workplace might not offer enough protection for your family's needs. It's not going to follow you if you leave your job. Since life insurance typically gets more expensive as we age, now would be the time to buy. Policy Genius makes that process so much easier. With Policy Genius, you can find life insurance policies starting at just $292 per year for $1 million in coverage. Some options offer same-day approval and avoid unnecessary medical exams. Your family deserves peace of mind. Life insurance policy through Policy Genius can help give them that peace of mind. Go to policygenius.com/Shapiro. Click the link in the description. Get your free life insurance quotes. See how much you could save. That's policygenius.com/Shapiro. The holidays are here. If you're looking for the perfect gift for somebody you love or even something nice for yourself, you need to check out Bon Charge. Bon Charge is a holistic wellness brand with a huge range of evidence-based products to optimize your life in every way. Their extensive range of premium wellness products helps you sleep better, perform better, recover faster, reduce inflammation, and so much more. From blue light glasses to red light therapy, Bond Charge products help you naturally address the issues of our modern day way of life effortlessly and with maximum impact. My favorite product from Bond Charge is their infrared sauna blanket. By the way, it's not just me that loves it. It's not just Brett Cooper that loves it. There's a person named Paige who's over at our house for dinner recently, and she could not stop raving about the Bond Charge blanket. I mean, really, it was like, it got a little bit much. It's like 15 minutes in, we're like, you're still going on about this Bond Charge. She was, though. The sauna blanket insert is designed to fit inside your sauna blanket to absorb your sweat, help keep you drier, make your post-sweat session cleanup even simpler. It uses infrared light, which heats the body directly rather than the air around you like a traditional sauna, which means you get the same benefits at a lower heat. This holiday season, Bond Charge is offering a massive 25% off site-wide. Head on over to bondcharge.com, and the 25% off code will be auto-applied to your entire order. That's bondcharge.com. Hurry while it is in stock. Now, ironically, this sort of alarmism is one of the very biggest root threats to the country. Countries in which both sides start speaking about how the next election is the last election, about how their political opponents, if they win, mean the end of the country, are in serious, serious trouble. That sort of scaremongering gets out votes because everybody freaks out, but it also sets the House on fire in the name of saving the House. Listen, I want Joe Biden to lose in 2024. I think he's a terrible president doing dangerous things that will be incredibly difficult to rectify. But the end of America is not, in fact, nigh in 2024. Not unless, ironically, everyone keeps saying it is. The closer both sides draw to the abyss, the more each party says the next election is the last election, the more that fantasy draws closer to reality. If you have two members of a couple, and both of them keep saying, the next thing you do, I'm going to divorce you, divorce becomes significantly more likely. When you do the same thing inside of a country, the same thing is true. The country comes closer and closer to falling apart. When you see your neighbors on the right as people who are white supremacists, Christian nationalists, fascists, it makes it very difficult to live with those people. Conversely, if you're on the right and you see people who vote Democrat as such a threat to the nature of the very republic that we are part of, that if Joe Biden were to win the next election, it would be the last election, which, by the way, no one believes. Donald Trump said the same thing in 2020, and then Joe Biden won. And guess what? He's running again in 2024. Once both sides decide that the next election is the last election, the reality of that threat starts to materialize. And that, in fact, is a true threat to the republic. It is a serious, serious problem. Now, speaking of the 2024 election, Joe Biden is, in fact, in dire trouble. The current polling is really, really bad for Joe Biden right now. Again, there was no point during the 2012 race in which Barack Obama seriously trailed Mitt Romney. There was no point in the 2020 race in which Donald Trump had a serious lead on Joe Biden. And in this particular race, Donald Trump does have a material lead against Joe Biden, and things are only going to get worse for Biden because everything is pretty much baked into the cake with regard to Trump. This is why you're seeing the language with regard to Trump get more and more heated. It's very hard to add new information to the Trump system. Trump is such, this is true since 2016. He is a mud monster. The more mud you throw on him, the more it looks like mud. And then you throw more mud, and he's still covered in mud. That means that even were he to be convicted of a crime, there would be a brief spike in terms of people outraged, and then it would immediately get absorbed into the rest of the mud monster and everything would go away. That is not true with Joe Biden. Joe Biden has been made to look very incompetent. Joe Biden has been made to look very bad, largely because of his own performance. Are you tired of the lies and the twists of the mainstream media talking points? Yeah, me too. Join me in my newest series, Fact, where I dismantle and bring truth to this tiring mainstream agenda.